What's up, y'all? It is your girl, Queen Key, on a beat. And yes, I am back with another lit episode for you all. I am so pleased and so happy about how season 3 is going and how much you all are in tune with this season. Like, I'm getting a lot of engagement back from y'all. I'm getting a lot of feedback. I'm getting a lot of suggestions about different things you guys want to hear me talk about. And I am really thankful and I really appreciate you all for staying here and supporting me. I really do appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and jump right into this episode. What we are going to talk about today is the 2 C's to get you to reach your goals, to help you stay with your goals for 2021 and for the rest of your life. And this can be applied to not just your goals, to your relationships, to your career, to your job, to anything it is that you want to do in life. These 2 C's, these 2 important words, is what's going to help you get through. And we're going to go ahead and jump right into this episode. Okay, y'all. So I told y'all that I wanted to jump right into this episode because it's not going to be an extra long episode. I'm not going to talk your ear off today because, again, this is Coffee Talk Tuesday. So I wanted to leave you with something that you could apply to everyday life. And these 2 C's is something that you will need not to just apply to when you are chasing your goals, chasing your dreams, doing your accomplishments, your achievements. These 2 C's is something that you can apply to your relationship if you are in one, to your job, to your career, anything it is. I feel like you can use these 2 C's to get you through. And the first C that I wanted to talk about with you all is consistency. Remaining consistent in every area of your life. In this generation, from what I see, is always a handout. We are asking for handouts. We don't work for nothing. We don't keep at it at something. It's almost like when there's something that's not going our way, or if we're not getting the results as fast as we want it, or when someone doesn't change overnight, we give up and we walk away and we don't fight and we don't remain consistent in those things. And you never know that if you don't remain consistent in that specific situation or chasing that goal or in that relationship, you might miss something, or you might soon start to regret. You might regret that decision that you made. And when I say being consistent is almost like a routine. It's almost like, us women, we get up, and even men, we get up every morning or every night. We do our face routine, or when you're going to the gym and you're working out, trying to remain healthy, you remain consistent. And when you make a plan, you become strategic. And I feel like when you write it out, when you think it in your head and you say, okay, look, this is what I want to do. This is my workout plan, or this is my meal prep, or this is the issues that I'm having in my relationship that I feel like we need to fix. But again, if you're not remaining consistent in those areas, it won't work. And with consistency, you have to apply action. Without action, you're lazy. Without action, it won't go nowhere. Without action, it's just going to sit there. And you're just going to keep pushing it off like, man, okay, I'm going to do that on another day. or man, I'm really tired right now, I don't feel like doing it, or I'm exhausted, I'm mentally drained, I don't have time to work on this situation or that one specific goal. A lot of you know, even with a lot of doing YouTube, if you do YouTube, if you watch YouTube, it's the main thing that they will tell you with being a YouTuber is you have to be consistent. And even with the podcast, when I started my podcast, I was excited about it. I was like, yes, this is what I want to do. I'm excited. And then after a couple weeks, I was like, It was so much stuff going on in my life at the time when I started my podcast. I started Queen Key Talks about two years ago. And I started about 2 years ago. I was living in Michigan at the time, and it was just a lot that was going on. And I thought that I would stick through it. I thought, I was going to keep pushing through the podcast, but it was just like I got upset because I wasn't seeing the results. I wasn't seeing the end goal. I wanted it to happen overnight. I wanted it to happen in a matter of weeks. I'm like, man, nobody's, reaching out. How do I know if somebody is listening to me? How do I know if my words are inspiring? How do I know if I'm motivating somebody? How do I know if I'm pushing somebody? And I told y'all the story about, how last year my grandfather had passed away, and that's what gave me the motivation to pick back up with my podcast with Queen Key Talks, because it was like he told me, always achieve, always stick to what you want to do. He always told me, like, I see a bright star in you. I see this, I see that. And when he told me that before he passed, I was like, I'm going to do my podcast again. Because when I lost my granddaddy, it was a different type of hurt that had hit me. When you lose a parent, you all know when you lose a parent or a grandparent, that's a different type of hurt. And it was like, maybe I need to go back to my podcast. I need to put my voice out there, because there's somebody who's dealing with these things that I talk about. But I prayed about it because I said, I need to be patient and I need to be consistent. I had to say I needed patience with my consistency, because you don't get results overnight. You don't get feedback overnight. You don't see things happening as fast as you want it to. It takes time. And with consistency, yes, you have to, it's time. It's time is all that you have when you're remaining consistent in an area. And ever since I've been very consistent with my podcast, it made me start to be consistent in other areas of my life. No, I'm not in a relationship, so I can't say, I'm remaining consistent in a relationship. But you know what? I'm remaining consistent in my relationship with myself and loving myself and making sure that every day I am giving myself an admiration about myself. I'm giving myself a motivation. Like I told y'all in the last podcast, I have a motivational quote app, whatever you want to call it, download it on my phone. And every hour from 7 o'clock, from the time that I know I'm awake, from 7 o'clock in the morning up until about 6 o'clock at night, 6 p.m., every hour is sending me a quote. And when I see that, it helps me to remain consistent. It pushes me, it motivates me. And I'm consistent in my podcast. And now I'm consistent in my relationship with loving myself and giving myself what I deserve and knowing what I can take and what I can have. And then it went from me wanting to remain consistent with my health and wanting to work out and to be consistent in that area too. Well, I'm working on being very consistent with working out, because my thing is, again, is we always use an excuse. I'm tired, or I don't have time. But you make time for what you want. And remaining consistent in what you really want, I write it down. This is what I want. This is what I want to do. And then I apply myself to it. I have a chalkboard, small. It's not that big. I have a chalkboard in my room, and I'm going to get on to the next one in a minute. But I have a chalkboard in my room, and on my chalkboard, it says, be a boss, follow your heart, and chase your dreams. And every morning, you will think I'm crazy, but I say that to myself every day when I get up, before I get dressed, and I say it to myself before I go to bed. I say it because it reminds me to be consistent in those areas. Be consistent in following your heart. Be consistent in chasing your dreams. Be consistent in being a boss. We are queens and we are kings, and we decide the life that we have. And without action, without consistency, there is nothing to back it up. There's nothing. It's almost like we give up all the time. We make excuses, and you don't want to build a family based off of inconsistency. You don't want to build a business or a dream or a relationship or even just working out or working on your health, anything based off of inconsistency. And I know we say, well, I just, you talk yourself out of it, because I was one of those people who did that. I always talk myself out of something like, no, I don't see no results, so I'm just going to leave it alone, or it's not happening how I want it to, and so I'm just done. Don't do that in 2021. Remain consistent, and know that with remaining consistent, you have to be patient. And with remaining consistent, it takes time. Yes, so like I said, remain consistent, do your part, because if you don't do your part, how do you expect for things to get done? The second C that I wanted to talk about is courage. You don't hear a lot of people talking about courage, do you? Now, we talk about being motivated. We talk about inspiration, admiration. We talk about all of these things, but courage, it takes courage to be consistent. Because again, with courage, it's that fear. And you guys know fear is a big thing that I talk about, because fear of the unknown is what always held me back from a lot of stuff that I wanted to do. A lot of things that I'm just now doing in 2021 in what I started last year. But when I say courage is almost like having faith. Courage is, look, I know that I can't see what the outcome is going to be. I know that right now things are not looking up. I know that things are not where I want it to be, but I got the courage to keep pushing. Courage is the ability to do something that frightens someone, the strength in the face of pain or grief. Courage is when all has failed, when all hope is gone, when your back is up against the wall and you feel that you have fallen short and you feel that you've given up and that you don't have anything. Courage is standing up and looking in the mirror and saying, I know I'm scared to chase this dream, or I know I'm scared to fight for this relationship, or I know I'm scared to trust God, or I know I'm scared to build this business or to start this empire, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to persevere through it, and I'm going to push through it, and I'm going to keep on going, because at the end of the day, that light, that small dim light that's shining to you at the end of the tunnel is going to be worth it. And though you can't see what's on the other side of this wall, you can't see what's on the other side, you have to be brave. You have to be strong. You have to say, look, I'm remaining consistent. I'm going to fight through this. But right now, I need the courage and the strength to push through this, because you can be consistent, but if you don't have the courage to actually do it, that's when you give up. That's when you fall. That's when you start to self-sabotage, like I talked about in the last episode. That's when you start to put yourself down. Man, I can't go to the gym. I'm not seeing, or I can't work out. I'm not seeing the results. I'm not seeing what I want. Maybe I'm not doing the right thing. Maybe this, maybe that. And you get to overthinking, and you get to start putting yourself down, then you get scared. It's almost like a singer or a rapper when they get in front of a motivational speaker. I was listening to Trent Shelton the other day. A lot of you all know I talk about him a lot in my podcast, because that's where a lot of my motivation came from for starting this podcast as well, because of his story, his background. If you guys have not heard of his story, go check out Trent Shelton. He is an ex-NFL football player. Make sure you check him out. But he talked about performance. He talked about performance, and he talked about the fear of when people get up in front of a crowd and they have to talk. And that's just like a singer or a rapper, like I said, and you get scared and you get that stage fright, but yet, like, man, I know my voice is amazing, or man, I got these bars, so I know at the end of the day they can relate to me, and you drop that song, or you sing on front of that stage, or you say that speech, and you get the courage to stand up there and sing that song, rap that rap, say that speech, and you feel good about it, because not only did you have the courage, but you were consistent with it as well. And I say how these piggyback off of each other, because courage is saying, I'm brave, though I'm scared, though I may have this type of an illness or anything, though I may have this, though I may have that, I'm going to remain consistent, and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to be brave enough to stand up and fight for it. With courage to me is having faith and having hope, and removing that fear of the unknown, of the what if, and just doing it. No matter what, no matter what's going on, no matter who says what, no matter what people think, you do it because you want it. You do it because it's what you deserve. So again, number one is being consistent. With consistency comes patience. And with patience, you have to have the right time. It takes time. And you have to do your part. You have to apply yourself. Just like a routine. Just like when y'all going to get them new, I don't stand in no line for no shoes, for no Jordans or nothing like that. But y'all men, y'all kings know how y'all do. When them shoes getting ready to drop, y'all already know. Y'all, every month when them new Jordans getting ready to drop, you standing in that line. You pre-ordering them shoes. Or even with music, you saving this person album. You pre-order it. You're being consistent every month. 2, courage. With courage is blocking that fear of the unknown, of what the outcome is going to be, and just doing it anyway. Being brave, being strong, having the strength to persevere. And I'm not sure if this can relate to you or if this impacts you, but like I said, in this generation, we need consistency. We need courage. We need to fight. We need to work through our relationships. We need to work through our problems. We need to stop giving up. We need to stop walking away. We need to apply ourselves. We need to be everything all in. It's all or nothing in 2021. It's all in, or it's all or nothing. Either you got it, you doing it, you remain consistent, you having that courage to do it, or you don't do it at all. Stop wasting people's time. Stop wasting your own time. Stop limiting yourself in what you want to do. So that is it, Queen Nation. I really just wanted to drop those 2 seeds, because I felt like there has been so much handouts going on. We don't want to work for nothing. We don't want to apply ourselves. We don't want to do anything. We just been giving up. And there's a song actually that says, sometimes you have to encourage yourself. Sometimes you have to speak victory during the test. And no matter how you feel, just speak the words and you will be healed. Speak over yourself. Courage yourself. That part. Courage yourself. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. When you don't have that support system, when you don't have that significant other, when you don't have nobody to back you up, sometimes you gotta manifest and speak over yourself. You gotta encourage your own self. That's why I said every day I speak and I manifest to be a boss, to be a queen. Manifest over yourself. Say, I am a king. I am worthy. I will do this. I will do that. I will chase my dreams. Queen Nation, I'm always saying Queen Nation as if I just have my ladies listening to me, but I know I got kings out there listening to me too. So look, my queens and my kings, be consistent in 2021. Have the courage to back yourself up. Don't be scared. Be brave. And chase your goals in 2021. And your girl, Queen Key, is out. Peace.